Hello. Today we are going to be doing a quick ICO review of Parkres ICO. It is a parking reservation system and is supposed to take parking into the future using blockchain. So without further ado, let's take a look at their website. Okay, so first thing we notice is that their ICO is going live pretty soon. The sale starts on August 15th, 2018 at noon. So you've got 9 days and 7 hours and 34 minutes. If after this review you get interested in participating in the sale, you can do so. Okay, looks like they have a good score from ICO Bench, decent score from ICO Marks. Don't really know what Duxton is. Track ICO 5 out of 5, that's good. And then Coin Checkup gave it a 4.28 out of 5. So it's got good scores by notable reviewers. Always a good sign to see that other people have independently reviewed your ICOs before you invest. Okay. Here's a little breakdown of what they're trying to do. Doing improved parking solutions. Parks lets customers find and reserve parking spots using some sort of application. The idea is to reduce traffic situations in downtown hospitals and airports, and it's also going to save some fuel, protect the environment by reducing time people look for parking, which, I mean, I think to some degree, yeah. Gives customers notifications and real-time alerts, that's great. And easy mode of payment for Parks tokens and fiat. Okay, so their app is going to actually incorporate the token. Oh, and you actually get discounts for parking using the Park token. So that's a pretty interesting use application there. I think I like that. And also dividends. Yes, any coin with a dividend is something that always piques my interest. It's always good to get a payback when you're holding. And if you can get discounts on parking too, well, that's pretty good. Okay, so it's like they claim it's like parking Airbnb, which I think is a good analogy here. Okay, we've got some video showing you how it all works. I'm not going to play it now, but in case you're curious, we go over some of the challenges with parking. Yeah. The key is the loss of time and energy in sensitive situations. You can definitely see an app like this improving upon that. Payment takes long, yeah. Waiting in queues. It depends on what city you live, but I've definitely had to wait for parking before. And then again, the environmental problems. I think it's a little overstated here, but I can see the added benefit of, you know, having people spend less time looking for parking and driving less because of it. Okay, here it's talking about some sort of sensory network it has to track and manage all the parking spots in the city. So it's going to be based on Internet of Things. That makes sense. Yeah, I think Internet of Things is definitely the way to go here. And reserving parking spots, wow, that's a big one. My only concern is if people aren't using this app, then how can you reserve the parking spot, and will it know to adjust from that? I think I would want to hear more about that. But I do like the idea of reserving your parking spot. Maybe at least the people on the app will respect it. Okay, this looks like a pretty complicated flow diagram of how it all works. Here we see the IoT connects to the cluster, got networks out to the cloud too, smart contracts, so it's going to be based on the Ethereum blockchain. I guess it's ERC22 then. Yeah, this is a pretty complicated flow chart. I think they've definitely got an intense organization system here. Kind of hard to make sense of. Cool. Okay. Here they go into a little bit more about, you know, exactly how it's gonna work. Yeah. Okay. Here's a more digestible summary of how it works. Okay, so it looks like you can list spots on the app, confirm booking, I guess you can even get paid for the spots. Yeah, reserving spots. Yeah, I'm sort of concerned about the reserving spot aspect, particularly for people who are not using the app, if that's going to be honored. Maybe it's in like also in big buildings. Maybe they could do it through that. But yeah, definitely finding the spot here. That's going to be a huge thing. I think that's going to be the biggest use case. People just looking for spots. And I guess it's cool you can sell your own spot. It seems like listing a spot, getting paid. I like that idea, particularly in big cities when you have a spot and other people don't. I can see a lot of people using that. Okay. So you can mining, staking. I always like coins that you can stake. Mining's pretty cool too. Okay. Some of the token economics going on here. Okay, 200 million issued. That's a small supply, so you can definitely get some value on that. I prefer coins with small supplies because I think people get worried about price increases on large supply tokens, overweighting the value, but I think, scarcity brings a lot of value to the table, and 200 million as far as things go is not too huge of a volume. I think the average is like 10 billion these days. Okay. Looks like 10 over 200. Okay, so it's like 5% are going in a private sale. It's not too bad. I don't like to see more than 10% or so going to the private sale. Otherwise, it's just, other people really control your coin. So that's pretty good. Large public sale. That's good. A lot of bonus to the private sale. Referral bonus. Okay. Well, I always like to see giving back to the community for helping out. Okay, here's a breakdown of how they're going to spend their money. Okay, a lot to marketing, strategy, planning. I like to see marketing up there in one of the main fund allocations, and not enough ICOs are devoting enough money to marketing, and I think it really prevents them from getting big adoption attention early on, which is so critical to success. And other than that, looks like a lot of it is going to engineering and operations, which makes sense. You have to build the coin, make it secure. That's okay. Okay, the team is not making a huge amount. That's good. Advisors only 3%. Okay. Yeah, that's, happy to see ultimately that it seems like this over here to here is maybe around 30%. That's, not going to the community. So that's not too bad as far as thing goes. Okay, private sale now live. Oh, here's the roadmap. Looks pretty... it's pretty long. They definitely have things planned out for the next, almost 10 years or so. So they're definitely a serious company. They're thinking down the line. It's always something good to see early on, is if they can sort of be at least setting goals for 5-10 years down the line. That signals a lot about their future success. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, security is going to be big with them. Here's their development team. People look pretty professional. You can read more about them and see their LinkedIn. Always good to have a LinkedIn that you can go check out quickly. Always shows transparency. And I'm not going to do this now, but definitely go back and read up about all of them and make sure you know who they are, and check to make sure their backgrounds actually are meaningful for their positions. That's always, I think, something people forget to do, that is always good to do when you're looking in, is really figuring out who's the team and are they being honest about their backgrounds. But no red flags, just looking at them. Gotta love it. Advisors, which is good. Okay. Then it looks like we're getting to the end here. Here's an FAQ. Okay. I'm talking about, is it a token or a security? Investing rate. Okay, so it's, you know, pretty standard stuff. Gas limits. Okay, I wish there was a little more FAQ, but that's fine. Here they're projecting their business growth. Seems pretty ambitious, but I like ambition. I guess November 2022. 450 million. That's not a horrible, you know, given how crazy crypto growth is these days. Okay. Then, oh, they already have some partnerships. That's great to see early on. Coin markets. I think I've heard of them. Okay, that's cool. Then here's some more info about how to purchase the tokens. They've got a video, make it easy for consumers. That'll probably be good for them in the ICO. And then here they've got some of their press. Okay. NBC, okay. Don't really know. Daily Herald, okay, so they've definitely gotten some press from notable places. And then contact us in social media. Also download their white paper. Why don't we just pop this open really quickly. Okay. White paper's 35 pages long. That's usually a pretty good sign that they put some thought into this. Okay. 6 is legal disclaimers. Okay, so real 29 pages or so of content here. Okay. Go over the business model pretty heavily. Some ITO stuff. Okay, so it seems like they have the cool key contents that they need in any good white paper. Okay, here are the 5 sections. Okay. These are the issues. This is the solution. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to improve along the way. And then token launches. Okay. Yeah, definitely got the right stuff in here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is great. Here they actually break down the costs lost from people not being able to find parking. And fines. Ugh. Yeah, you know, they break down a very justifiable reason why this is a good product. And I think if they can get the adoption, I think there is a market for this. And I think this graph right here or table, should I say, is actually a very good breakdown. I mean, already we see, you know, over 200 billion, if you sum up all these columns, of fines and waste created by inefficient parking. So, I mean, there's money to be made in this, and also efficiency improvements to society. So I think, you know, this really does show there's a good use case. Yeah, they really, really do try and show you this is a market that is a reasonable market, which is, you know, you kind of think parking, okay, but this breaks it down into a much bigger problem than I even realized. Okay. Scroll down a little more. Okay, here they talk a little bit more about how all those components that are involved in their process work. Trying to make it friendly for non-technical folks like myself. 3 different algorithms. Okay. Yeah, customer support, anti-money laundering, secure. Yeah. Well, they conclude by saying they're going to bring a revolution in the parking system, and I think there's definitely room for them to do it. A little ambitious, but they are an ICO. Ambition is good. So I think that pretty much covers it. We learned a little bit about how organized they are, the use case, the problem that exists. They do a good job showing, information for non-technical folks and describe their team well. And in general, I think this is an organized project. Adoption, again, is going to be key here. If they're going to be successful, I think that's going to go into marketing, and I like to see that they have a lot of money invested in marketing to actually get that adoption done. So, all things considered, I'm going to give this ICO a rating of 4.2. I'm taking some points off due to practicality. Particularly, I was concerned about that issue if people who are not using the app are going to be able to interfere with the reserving system. But other than that, I think that there's definitely a market for people who want to sell their spots. I think there's definitely a market who want to use an app to find spots. There's products that already exist sort of like this, which is why I'm docking off a little more and bringing it down to 4.2. But, if it's good, and particularly the listing spots, I think can bring people there. So I think it's a strong competitor among what's already out there. So yeah, 4.2 out of 5, and I think everyone should at least give it a look, go through the white paper a little more, check out the team a little more, but other than that, I think it's an interesting project, and hopefully things work out for them. So with that said, I want to thank everyone for listening, and hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a comment on anything you liked or didn't like, and we'll see you guys for the next episode.